The NFC North is starting to turn into a one-horse race, and neither of them are the Minnesota Vikings or Chicago Bears, who is facing in this Week 6 matchup here. Both teams are 1-4. Chicago's coming off their first win of the season after a dominant performance on Thursday Night Football against the Commanders, putting up 40 points. DJ Moore, I think, is still running all over Emmanuel Forbes. And the Vikings had another tough loss against a Super Bowl contender as they lost 27-20 against the Kansas City Chiefs. But that wasn't the biggest loss for the Vikings this week. It seems Justin Jefferson had a hamstring injury, so that is definitely going to be something to monitor here. And I'm going to guess, Ryan, and we are recording this on Monday. This video is coming out Tuesday. If he's not already ruled out now, they probably don't want to risk really any other major injury to him because it's not outlook on the season, just looking forward. Obviously, anything can happen in the future, but it's not looking like they're going to be playing deep into January or February, or there's that potential. Would not be surprised if they rest him, make sure that he is 100%.
I think Kevin O'Connell said in his post-game press conference that they're going to do evaluations on him throughout the week, and he's not going to be playing again until he's 100%.
Yeah.
How long it takes him to get back to 100% is now the question. But yeah, I don't think Justin Jefferson's playing this week. That's a big loss to a team that has 13 total touchdowns. All of them come through the air. You know that losing a receiver of that caliber is a big loss. So
fantasy owners everywhere are devastated with their number one overall pick not playing this year, or not playing every single week because they need him.
Yeah.
And the Vikings need him because, to be honest, this Vikings team, going over to the Vikings here real quick, they're just not that good. Like, and it's I'm glad to see Kirk Cousins getting the praise and Justin Jefferson getting the praise and the offensive weapons getting the praise overall. But I think this is a perfect example of how it is not just the skill position players, the faces of the franchise that win you championships and win you games. You got to be able to have a good offensive line. Got to be able to have a good defensive front. Good defense in general. Got to be able to win in the trenches. And this is one of the few times I think that the Bears are actually more dominant.
On both sides, probably
on both sides of the ball, especially with Tevin Jenkins coming back. I think this is going to be something similar. I feel like Minnesota now not also having Justin Jefferson. They're going to get down against the Bears. They're going to have to try and find some magic from last year, something that they haven't found so far yet this season, to kind of claw back and try and pull out a victory here. What are your overall thoughts, kind of the Vikings' expectations, Bears' expectations, and how do you think the game's going to play out?
So I think the Bears want to come in and probably do a similar thing to what they did to the Commanders in Week 5, and that is obviously, but they established the line of scrimmage very early on in that game on the offensive side of the ball, and they were running the ball with ease against one of the best defensive fronts in football. And so it's kind of scary to think about what they could be doing to a team like Minnesota, who does not have anybody to the caliber of what Washington has on that front four. So that for me is going to be the key. And then that's when they're going to bring an extra guy into the box, and then you're going to open up a lot of matchups with DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, and that's when everything else kind of falls into place there for them. So that for me is what the Bears are going to want to do in the game. And if I'm the Vikings, I want to try to do the same thing on the offensive side of the ball. To an extent, they're going to want to get up early, but they're going to do it by throwing the football. I know Justin Jefferson is out, but getting the ball to KJ Osborne, Jordan Addison, and then TJ Hawkinson as well. Going to be key in this game, because without Justin Jefferson, they're going to need all three of those guys to show up ready to play.
Yeah. No, it's going to be tough, I think, for even without Justin Jefferson. I think it's going to be tough for the Bears to stop this passing offense of Minnesota over the full 60 minutes. But it just seems like the Vikings normally come out just slow, trying to have a balanced attack, but then they end up getting behind. And so it's going to be one of the biggest things is for the Bears to come out hot and get an early lead and shoot and have DJ Moore keep running all over the Viking secondary, just like how he did last week. Justin Fields to keep continuing. I think one of the biggest things overall is for the Bears moving forward is just to have an overall balanced offensive attack approach going into this game. Have Khalil Herbert get involved as well. Roschon Johnson, I think, has been really good. And that's going to open up those opportunities to Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney. Sorry, I was blanked on his name. I knew there was another guy there.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to throw it over to predictions here, Ryan. Who do you think is going to become victorious? And then who do you think is going to start looking at the 2024 offseason sooner?
I think they're both already kind of looking to the 2024 offseason. Neither of them, I think, have a chance at a wild card spot, and they're definitely not winning the division with the Lions being 4-1 right now. And so for me, I think the Bears come out ahead in this matchup. I wouldn't have picked this, I think, if Justin Jefferson were healthy. But I just think with the recent offensive philosophy shift in Chicago and DJ Moore finally looking the part of what he could be, I think that this offense gets it done. And then also I think you throw that in with the running game that they established against Washington with Tevin Jenkins coming back. It was just very impressive.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I am going to go with Chicago as well, because if you go and look at it, outside of really like the fourth quarter of that Denver Broncos game, the past two games, Justin Fields and this offense has looked really good. Now, of course, they have gone against a mediocre defense at best in Denver. A decently good defense in the Commanders. Maybe there's still a little bit left to be desired with their overall performance, but still putting up 40 points against an NFL team is still impressive. And this Vikings team, I would say, is safely in the middle between the Commanders and the Denver Broncos, and that's not saying much at all. So they've had this rhythm over these past couple weeks. I think that it's going to keep continuing at home. I think they're going to come out hot. I believe the Bears are going to win this one also. I think it's going to be another high-scoring game. I will say I think it's going to be 34-28 Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say 38-28
Nice.
Chicago. I think this Minnesota defense is going to get their bell rung pretty good here, and they're going to need to throw some serious investment into it this offseason. So
absolutely.
We're both going with the Bears. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead in this NFC North matchup. Is it going to be the Minnesota Vikings? Is it going to be the Chicago Bears? Other than that, we will see you guys next time.